mastermind in the death of his nephew, Andre Montgomery Jr.
Prosecutors called it a crime that was motivated by greed, and that was enough for a federal jury. They spent almost 17 hours deliberating before they came out earlier this afternoon and said Tim Norman is guilty on all charges.
Mike Leonard trial lawyers in Chicago. On behalf of Mr. Norman, we're extremely surprised and disappointed in the outcome. Obviously, we respect the work of the jury. The jury worked very hard on this case. Our surprise stems from really two factors. Number one, the government really had two star witnesses in this case, Miss Ellis and Mr. Hill.
Ellis was a stripper at the time, and she says she was in a sexual relationship with Norman for a few years. A week before the shooting, she was dancing at an East St. Louis club and met Montgomery, and they exchanged numbers from there. She tells the jury back in 2016, Norman asked her to help find his nephew and would pay her $10,000 to do so. She agreed. She shares the two got burner phones and tracked down Montgomery. As for Hill, he's the alleged shooter, and in court, he admitted to killing Montgomery, shooting him twice. He says he was paid $5,000. Hill shares Norman was a mentor to him.
Non-credible. So we thought that, combined with the fact that Tim testified so extensively at this trial.
Now, prosecutors said Norman took out a life insurance policy on his 21-year-old nephew, Andre Montgomery.
Which is highly unusual for a defendant to get on the stand in these types of cases and testify so well and really be not subject to any cross-examination. For those reasons, we're very surprised and disappointed with the outcome.
Good afternoon. I'm U.S. Attorney Sailor Fleming, and today, after the presentation of 7 days of evidence, I am very, very pleased to announce that the jury has found James Timothy Norman guilty on all three counts charged, and that is conspiracy to commit murder for hire, and conspiracy to commit mail and wire fraud. In their opening statement and closing arguments, Assistant United States Attorneys Gwen Carroll and Angie Danis told the jury that Mr. Norman's crimes were motivated by greed. And while the evidence was voluminous and overwhelming, Mr. Norman's plan was relatively straightforward. He fraudulently obtained life insurance in the amount of $450,000 on his nephew, Andre Montgomery, without Mr. Montgomery's knowledge.
Lost a lot of family members here on this street. Andre, as of late, on this one street, a few blocks from each other.